Well, hello, hello, peeps. Here I have for you a build showcase for the Frost DK, and we didn't even do like a Frost DK PvP overview on the beta, so we'll kind of do a more of a, how do you say, more detailed job in this build showcase, kind of more going over some of the talent changes and whatnot. Regardless, Frost DK, guys, is absolutely back. I feel like this spec was so held down by one main thing for so long, and that thing is not chaining down Frost DK down anymore, and that is freaking chill streaks. And every build that I will show you today will have to kind of do around not having chill streaks, because I think chill streaks is absolute garbage concept. It always is the thing that just held it back since ever since I came back to the game. In BFA, you basically was an unplayable class. Shadowlands was decent when you did like the combo, but still, again, it was all about the combo. Dragonflight, the same story. Again, the spec doesn't do damage unless you're right in that chill streak window, and it of course kind of specifically is good at bringing targets together, so it's like working in a combo kind of. But thankfully, we are not chained by chill streaks anymore, and especially as an older kind of DK player, this was never like a part of the Frost DK kind of fantasy for me. We have the big obliterates back, we have the big hits back, so yeah, I feel it's very good to play some Frost DK. Especially as kind of an older, and of course all the builds that I will show you will of course avoid chill streaks. You can kind of go for it, and you kind of change around some of my builds that I will show you, but I ultimately just dislike chill streak playstyle. Moving over into the goodies now, as some of you know, that night talent tree has gotten quite a big rework. It is so much better now. A lot of the things that were like you need to take like 2 points for now are like a 1 point thing. Some things you have baseline, right, and it's just an amazing, I think, talent tree, especially since it plugged the hole of defensiveness that I feel like that night had. Of course, if you watch my like Unholy DK videos, it's gonna be a little bit different, right? I'm not gonna run Enfeeble on my Frost DK. I'm running Sacrificial Pact. Again, this is mainly to kind of increase my 1v1 potential, or just give me like an additional heal in the BGs, right? Since the main kind of content in the pre-patch, I think that most people are enjoying is gonna be Solo RBGs. I also don't go for Death of Decay because I feel like Defile, right, is not like you don't have a Defile really, and like in Solo RBGs you really don't care for that kind of combo potential as much, right? You're not gonna be setting up combos for somebody, right? You're just gonna be trying to do as much damage as possible, so I don't feel like that in the case is something that you're gonna be really casting that much. Now you could go for like Unholy Ground just to get that pact, but I feel like I prefer just going like this as I have it right now. Permafrost, you can choose Permafrost or any of these two talents here. It just, you have to take one to go down, but I felt as though Frost just has more auto attack damage, right? Since it has kind of some talents that increase its auto attack damage, so I just felt like made more sense. Of course, you can go for anything here, really, like it doesn't matter, like all of these are fine here, and it's like just it will get you down the points. I don't think there's much to discuss in this section. Maybe Gloom Ward instead of Asphyxiate if you're not planning to run like Strangulate or not planning to have Asphyxiate, right? But yeah, I would feel like this here is very much set in stone, and this down part for me personally is very much set in stone. I think some people are like running Vestigial Shell instead of Null Magic, but I just like this is like a little bit more greedy, of course, but something that I definitely like to play. And all of these talents offer you something different defensively, right? Unholy Endurance increases Leechborn's duration, we already had that. Blood Draw, we kind of already had that as well. It reduces the Death Strike cost. This will just heal you an insane amount of HP when you get into that like window, especially if you're like took like a lot of damage before you like procced it. Absolutely insane. Your chance to be critically struck is reduced by 3%. Absolutely insane, right? When you pull an enemy, their damage is reduced by 6%. So just absolutely set of insane defensive talents that DK got, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. That's kind of it for the DK side of things. Just an overall huge increase to the defensive portion of the Death Knight, and it definitely feels really good to play Death Knight finally for me. I felt so awkward being like this squishy immobile melee class that kind of relied on just control. Sure, you could play around with like just slowing down people and kind of kiting, but just never felt like Death Knight. Like that's not a played class to me, right? Played class needs to feel tanky, and I feel like Death Knight is back to feeling tanky, definitely. Now, before we get into the rest of the talents, we do have to have a big conversation of two-hander versus dual wield, and unfortunately guys, I don't think dual wield is possible right now. at least from every single talent iteration that I have tested. Dual wield just doesn't seem to be possible. For me, dual wield is very much thematical of the Frost Decay, although I have nothing really against two-hander Frost Decay. It's just, yeah, right now it's absolutely, I think, impossible for you to play dual wield. I've tried many iterations of the builds. I've even tried running crit, because we have a lot more crit like oriented talents, and talents just work more with crit, right? And I just couldn't get it to work, guys. Like it's always doing consistently worse burst damage, it's doing worse sustain damage, and like even when you kind of get some damage going with like your crits, I feel like it's very reliant on uptime, and it just yeah, it doesn't have the fluidity. Like two-hander just feels like, you know, correct. Even the builds that I've built specifically for dual wield still dealt more damage with two-hander. So I think right now they might have to do some kind of balancing around it. I'm not sure, because like again, I'm not a PvE nerd, right? So I'm not sure about some of those intricacies, why dual wield has to be scuffed compared to two-hander, because I feel like it wasn't before as much scuffed like this. Like there's no talent, I think, for dual wield. In any case, any build iteration you can pretty much try if you want with dual wield, if you really just want the thematics of it, but I just feel like yeah, like two-hander all the way basically. And also there's just certain talents like that make two-hander even better, right? With Arctic Assault here and Avalanche just giving you basically constant Razor Ice on your target. You can even probably run Shattering Blade as a two-hander build, just because of how much right Razor Ice you're actually applying to the target, and it's very easy to apply Razor Ice currently. So I don't know, I feel like right now two-hander all the way for me at least. But before I let you get on with the video, I do have to inform you that only 4.3% of you subscribed. So if you've been enjoying the content, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Well, now for the Frost side of things, this is kind of the basically, I think, the best talents that I have come up with. Pretty sure that people have played the same kind of talents as well. This just removes chill streaks completely from the equation. You could remove 2 talents to get chill streaks. I would probably try maybe remove like Avalanche, maybe another 1 point from Icebreaker, maybe maybe just 2 points from Icebreaker if you want to get like both of those. But personally, I think chill streaks doesn't feel like very useful, especially in the Solo RBG environment. It also doesn't feel like it's doing that much damage as compared to before, so I just personally don't care for chill streak anymore. I did run it a few times on the PTR and just didn't feel like it's doing the damage it dealt before, and which is definitely good, something that I'm happy with, and happy to make builds that don't involve it. Of course, we have all the related talents to Pillar of Frost and Frostworm's Fury. One thing that we're gonna quickly kind of go over is we do have a kind of a new tier set going, making it increases our Howling Blast damage by, I think, yeah, 10% in PvP, and it stacks up, it has like a stacking thing for Frostworm, or Frostworm, that's kind of a weird word to say. Frostworm's Fury, right? It stacks up to like 10 times, you have like 50% increased damage on your Frostworm Fury, and your Pillar of Frost casts down a Frostworm Fury at 30% effectiveness that cannot freeze its enemies. Your Frostworm Fury also causes the enemy's hit to increase the damage from your critical strikes, so something that definitely ties in very much with Frost and kind of an obliterate style build a lot more. And of course we want all the related talents to Pillar of Frost and all the related talents to Frostworm's Fury. Frostworm's Fury. We of course have Obliteration here, that's gonna make our Pillar of Frost very strong cooldown, right? And of course we have here a new talent, I think, Arctic Assault, Consuming Killing Machine, fires a Glacial Advance to your target. This is, as said before, combined with Avalanche, just makes you with two-hander being able to have 5 Razor Ice stacks very quickly. So this is very nice. It also uses just a bonus damage on your burst. It's off the global, right? It's just something that's on top of your damage, so very amazing. Now I do run 2 auto attack related talents here. The Icy Death Torrent can really hit for hard, it can even crit for like 300k. It is gonna be very random if you're not running any crit, so this is gonna happen just randomly sometimes. Ultimately, this is the variation of things that gave me the best damage when it comes to the target damage, and of course, I feel like Icy Death Torrent, even though it's very random, the random just 300k, 350k damage that can happen during your rotation instead of something that kind of comes on top of your rotation. Shattering Blade kind of comes at a cost, right? Your Razor Rice stacks are gonna just fall off, and Hyperpixia is also very random, right? It's not like 100% chance to give like a damage over time on your runic power spending abilities, right? So it's just a chance for them to do 45% increased damage. Coming to the PvP talents, guys, here, and I feel like the main one, of course, has always been Dead of Winter. Since ever I came back to the game, after Remorseless Winter deals damage 5 times to the target, they're stunned for 4 seconds. This can even do a stun 2 times on the target, right? If you get enough, if you extend your Remorseless Winter kind of enough, right? Its cooldown is gonna be increased by 10 seconds, but yeah, I feel like this is what makes you a very strong class in PvP, especially when it comes to like kind of group play, right? You can just stun multiple targets, you can stun them multiple times. I think this is very good, especially for the cooldown, right? At like 30-second cooldown, I think this is very much a great PvP talent. You're gonna take this most of the time. This does make it kind of that Asphyxiate is kind of, I won't say useless, but doesn't have like that same necessity as it does have on Unholy, so you can use, I think, Strangulate a lot more frequently and a lot more freely on Frost. I'm not running it right now. This was something that I was running, I think, in my last Solo RBG, when I was playing a lot of, I think it was like a lot of mages. The second talent, though, would be Necrotic Aura, that I would almost always take. Just increases all your magic damage by 4%, increases everybody's magic damage by 4% around you, so this is just an overall really good DPS talent. There is a lot of interesting choices. As far as like something that I could, you could kind of see before a match starts, especially even in a Solo RPG environment, right? Bloodforged Armor and Spell Warden. Frost does suffer, I feel like, a little bit defensively. It feels also like Frost has to use a little bit more of its, how would you say, damage. Like, Unholy can kind of just spam Death Strike and still feel like it does damage, in my opinion, while Frost kind of doesn't. Even though Frost Strike isn't like your main source of damage, I still feel like Frost Strike is very significant to how you play, and it just, I don't know, I just feel like you could go for a defensive talent a lot more often on Frost than Unholy. Pretty much the only talent that I would never run, I think, is Rot and Bitter. Like, that's the weakest talent here. Even Bitter Chill, I feel like is great. You just put Chains of Ice on a target and you can refresh it with Frost Strike, which is like very nice. You don't have to like keep casting Chains of Ice, but it also reduces their haste by 8%, which is actually very significant, right? So very good talent, right? Still Dark Simulacrum can copy a spell. It's kind of very niche, but right, it can be cool. Like everything can be used and everything is cool, except freaking Rot and Bitter. Like, just, yeah, this is the only talent that I would never ever take. So guys, for the rotation, like, the baseline is just very simple. Obliterate, you get a Rhyme proc, use the Rhyme proc, use Obliterate, use a Frost Strike. Of course, using your kind of runes before you use your runic power, because your runic power can return back your runes. So right, if let's say I was somehow full runes now, right, I would be again trying to use the runes first before I actually start to use any kind of runic power thing. And right, yeah, the baseline rotation is very simple, and it's not like something that you're gonna be, how do I say, not something you're gonna be doing all the time, because really you are trying to work in that Pillar of Frost window. That's kind of your main thing. So moving into the kind of burst, I just kind of pop out my Empower Rune weapon and motivationally, especially since I'm mostly playing in the Solo RBG environment, right? I don't really have to care, so I just, Chains of Ice, pop out that out, Remorseless Winter, Pillar of Frost into Frostworm's Fury, and then you do your rotation of trying to use your Killing Machine procs, proccing them then with Frost Strike or the Rhyme procs. I would never Howling Blast without the Rhyme proc, right? And that's it. That's your main, how would you say, rotation, your main burst. And of course now we are kind of waiting for the next Pillar of Frost window. During that window, of course, as I said before, obliterates, then do some Frost Strikes to get back the runes, spend the runes again, Use the Rhyme procs, use the Killing Machine procs if you get any. Of course, since I'm not running much crit, this is like a haste mastery build. I'm not gonna get the many Killing Machine procs, right? Then I usually save my Remorseless Winter or my Pillar of Frost windows, so that I make sure that I get the stun going while I'm doing the big damage. And yeah, just use your Killing Machine procs, make the Killing Machine procs with Frost Strike and Howling Blast. And that is your main thing. And I'm gonna see you in the BG. Here we are 30 seconds later in the battleground. Basically, we're just gonna own it up, hopefully. Here I'm checking the enemies. What do they have? They have Death Knights, Shocker, they have a Mage, they have a Paladin, they have a Warrior, Druid, and they have a Hunter. Now, I'm not using battleground enemies to see who is which class or who is which whatever, right? I'm gonna assume this is mainly a magic damage dealing composition. So, as far as my talents are considered, I am gonna go for a Spell Warden here. This is just gonna make me ignore a lot of damage every 30 seconds while also being CC immune every 30 seconds to the majority of their CCs, right? The only person, right, being a Warrior, a Hunter with Intimidation stun, right? They can kind of CC me there, but yeah, everybody else has like magical damage dealing stuff and magical damage stunning stuff, so I'm just gonna be able to ignore a lot of the CC there. Okay, now we're in the BG, guys. As a that night, I'm gonna go mainly for the targets. Stun this guy. Yeah, baby, mine. Start popping damage onto this guy. I'm not gonna use all my damage. I am gonna use a Pillar of Frost window just to make sure he's freaking dying and I'm not wasting my time. I'm gonna try and pull this. Wait. We're gonna pull this druid in. He's the healer. We have found the healer. He's not letting me pull him in. Smart. CC him. He bubbles, brother. That's a hardcore guy. We gotta go for the orbs. We don't wanna waste our time. I'm gonna pop all my pulls here. Stun them up. I don't have my Pillar of Frost because I made sure to use it on that Knight, so that Knight is not alive. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep annoying the healer here. Get a nasty kick there on the Searing Glare, bruv. Damn, son. Oh, shit! I thought I was aiming at the healer. Okay, we want to make sure we are running these orbs. 10 seconds. Also, I think I forgot to say, but yeah, in VGs you can run Death's Reach. I'm just kind of a greedy guy, so I'm not running it. But for the Solo RBG environment, especially for the role that that Knight fits, it is very big. Ooh, the Druid, stop right there, you criminal scum. That's probably not my damage, but still. Come on, guys. I'm trying to hit an enemy here. I'm trying to make a video here. What the hell is this? I'm trying to make a video, guys, here. Come on. Can you be a little bit better at doing this jobbing position? Yeah. I need better jobbers, bro. Oh, shit, bro. I can't even touch him, man. What is this? What is this, bro? What is this? I can't even touch them, bro. And this guy is also dead already, like... Do I even put this in the... Do I even put this in the video, man? Like, it's an absolute slaughter, bro. This is just an absolute slaughter. Just an absolute... Yeah, man, that was just a freaking slaughter, dude. That was just a freaking slaughter, yeah. And that's about it, peeps, for my PvP build showcase for the Frost DK. The main build that I'm kind of gonna be using is gonna be without chill streaks, of course. This two-hander, of course, since it's one-hander's dual wield, does not seem to just do anything better than two-hander right now. And yeah, that's about it, peeps. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.